Another production down on our riverfront, the Clinton Area Showboat Theater. We've got James Davis in with us, of course, and he brought along a couple of the actors, Trevor Gill-Snow, along with Lillian Asay, a Clinton girl. So we'll be talking with them here shortly. But James, how are things going at the Showboat so far? You're a couple of shows in.
Yeah, they're going great. The biggest thing I say in my curtain speeches is word of mouth. So if you like what we're doing, if you saw Young Frank, yeah, spread the word that we're open, and we would love to see people in those seats. One of the things that we do is bring all this lovely talent from across the nation to you guys, and we just need people to come see it. So.
That's a good point. 242-6760. Give them a call. What does the Showboat hold, attendance-wise?
We are about 210. If we really push the bounds, we can hit 215.
Okay.
We try not to go that route as much as possible, just because it can be a little cramped at that point, but we do 210, and we're actually at, last I looked, 206 tonight for tonight's performance.
All right,
which
very
is
good.
Sponsored by Nelson Corp. So.
Oh, okay, very
Yeah,
good. I know Dave Nelson, Sally Nelson, big boosters.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the Showboat, yes. So now this one's going to run till July 16th, and I was asking you about that. It's a 3-week run, and you said this is something they normally do.
Yeah, so with a more popular show or a show that is more well-known, like Rodgers and Hammerstein's work, we tend to run those just a tad bit longer to give more opportunities for people to come see it, experience it, and this one fit the bill, so that hit our 3-week run.
All right, very good. And then, of course, you got a couple more productions after that, and we'll talk more about those in a little bit. But let's get started. And Lillian, we'll get started with you. Now, you were telling me you're going to be a freshman this year at Clinton High School. How did you get involved with the Clinton Area Showboat Theater?
Well, my family has been acting for a while, and when we moved here, my mom saw that the Showboat had a kids camp, and so she signed me up, and so I've been doing kids camps and just shows ever since then.
So you're getting the opportunity. You're saying you're going to be in the ensemble.
Yes.
So talk about that. What do you all do in that?
We are in quite a lot of scenes. We're kind of like the background characters. So in the big dances, we are there to kind of fill in some space, but we are still important. Yeah, so we're just there to kind of make it more realistic instead of having just a small amount of people who are these people who just have these big lines and these big solos. It's to make it more realistic, because not
So did Kids Camp prepare you for something like this?
Yeah, I think the Showboat does a really good job with preparing kids with what they could be doing for the Showboat, and giving them their own opportunities to have big experiences like that.
So again, you'll be going to Clinton High School, and of course they do put on musicals and other productions as well. So are you looking forward to getting involved with that?
Yeah, even though I'm going to be a freshman, I've acted in many shows at the high school already.
Okay. Who directs most of those?
Her name
Cindy?
is no, her name is Alicia Lemon.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Trevor, let's catch up with you. Trevor
Hello.
Gill-Snow. So you are at the Showboat Theater for your first season. How
That's
did
right.
this come about for you?
Well, my college is fortunate enough to have the Showboat come out and audition us there, so I didn't even have to come out to Iowa to audition. But it was a great audition process. I got 2 callbacks for that, and then got the offer, and I showed up here on my first day. So yeah, it's been great.
Baldwin Wallace is the
That's
school
right.
that you're going to, and of course there have been a number of actors, not only at Clinton but up at Timberlake as well. Talk a little bit about the program they have there.
It's a great program. They set us up really, really well professionally. Like I said, we have a great relationship with the boat, among other summer stocks, and really the idea of the program is to set us up so that we can get an agent, so that we can be represented when we go to New York and eventually audition for real big league stuff like Broadway.
So you've always been interested in theater?
Yes, I got into theater. It's actually, my parents were trying to find me something to do, and I tried a bunch of sports, and none of them were really clicking. And then I auditioned for a show, and it was like magic. So I got into it very young, I think second grade, and then I decided, yeah, this is what I want to do full time going into high school. Yeah.
Now, to go to a school like Baldwin Wallace, I can't imagine you just show up. I would think that there's probably a process to get into this school.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a long one too. It's a long process. A lot of colleges will have a pre-screen process before you even get an audition. I think because I auditioned during COVID year, so a lot of things were very different then. I don't think I had to do a pre-screen for Baldwin Wallace, but I did a Zoom audition, and I found out that I got into both the program and the school, because you have to get into both or else you're not going to the program. And then obviously tuition and everything is important to pay as well. So yeah, it's a pretty long process.
Are scholarships offered?
Yes. And Baldwin Wallace did some. I got a lot of money, so I'm very fortunate to be able to go through all 4 years without having to take out any loans. Yeah.
So, again, a lot of people from Baldwin Wallace, they do the summer theater. So when you guys come back to campus in the fall, do you share some stories? Or what's that like?
Oh, yeah. Well, every year, all of the sophomores have to audition for every summer stock theater that comes to us. So by the time you reach junior year, you got plenty of stories to tell. And our program head, Vicky, will certainly ask us on our first day, like, how was everyone's summer? What was it like? Making sure that all these relationships are kept strong.
Now, and I know there's people up at Timberlake from Baldwin Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you been up to Timberlake? Do you keep in contact with them?
Yeah, I mean, the schedule is pretty grueling. I mean, we work long days, but we were fortunate enough to have one day off where we were able to go catch Grease at Timberlake when that was still running, and got to see my friend play Danny Zuko, so it was really exciting. Yeah.
Well, that is great. So you were in Young Frankenstein, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and now I would imagine one of the leads here in Cinderella.
That's right.
So, I mean, you're doing all these shows all summer long, and I know they kind of make you do the lead in one, but the other ones you're kind of more or less in the background
Mm-hmm.
some more, so you're not putting as much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, it works out. A lot of the tracking for the season is really, really smart, because we'll be rehearsing one show in the day and performing another one in the night.
Right.
So when I was in Young Frankenstein, I was in a featured ensemble track. So I had about one scene where I had to know my lines and be on top of that, and then the rest of it was dance and music. And then going into this one, it's almost the complete opposite. Like I'm in solos and scene work, and I am only in the ball as far as dancing goes. So they kind of weigh it out like that. And then we start SpongeBob coming up this Friday, so I'll be rehearsing that, and I'll be in an ensemble track for that while I'm performing Topher in the evening.
Tell us a little bit about the production Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the set is beautiful. One thing when you walk into the theater, you're going to see just how gorgeous all the work has been on stage for the designers on the design standpoint. But the show is really, it takes the classic fairy tale of Cinderella that everyone knows and puts a kind of revolutionary spin on it, because there's two through lines happening at once where both Cinderella and the prince are meeting, and the prince is trying to find Cinderella, but Cinderella is also trying to find what's best for the kingdom through a character that's introduced named Jean-Michel, who sees the injustice in the kingdom and is trying to get a pathway to talk to the prince and express these concerns, and that pathway is found through Cinderella. So it takes the classic fairy tale and puts a little spin on it.
Of course, it is opening night tonight, so
That's
what
right.
is your day going to be like today as you get ready for this?
Well, I mean, the process has been very fast. So we just finished Tech Week, and we have a day off of rehearsal today to just really decompress and prepare ourselves to have an almost full house tonight. So
That'll be great. So now when a production is done, what's the feeling like when you know you've done a pretty good performance?
it's exhilarating, especially when you get to curtain call and you're going out there and you're thanking everyone for coming and seeing all the work you've put on that stage. It's really, really lovely. And I think we do an invited dress, and the lovely thing about that is that we get to experience having a crowd before we're really like they all know that it's still a work in progress. So having the kind of transition into having an audience for real is like, it just takes the pressure off. Yeah.
Invited dress. I didn't realize they had something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, we I mean, JK could talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, sure. So anybody who gives a certain amount, which you can find on our website under the giving section, you would get invited to this final dress, or invited dress as Trevor called it. And basically, it's just a way for people to kind of experience the show in a even more intimate setting than the boat originally offers, right? So they get to kind of see it beforehand, and every once in a while they get the rare treat of seeing us needing to hold to fix something real fast. But usually these are the people that are really invested in the Showboats, right? The Sisters of St. Francis, we usually have them come out and be with us so that they can see the show and kind of mitigate some of the health concerns they may have too. So we try to keep an open partnership with them, and they've been very good to us over the years. They've housed us. They've given us what they like to call nun brunch. So they feed us lovely food. So it's just another way for us to kind of keep that relationship strong in the community with them, but also as a way to thank our sponsors that have given us a lot of money. So
Very interesting. Just a couple more points I want to talk about, and then we'll let you go on, and thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, sure.
Trevor brought this up about the technical aspect, the putting together of the stage. Talk about that part of theater, because primarily people go to the theater to watch the show, and they don't realize what's all taking place to put together something like that.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm very well versed in that because my background, or my MFA, is as a lighting designer. So I am very involved in the technical process, especially Tech Week, as we call it. So once we close a show, like for example, Young Frankenstein, we close it on Sunday, and then immediately following the audience leaving that final performance, we start striking the set of Young Frankenstein, and we tear that down a lot faster than it usually goes up. So probably within the first like two hours, I feel like is pretty close to what we struck Frankenstein in. And then the next set goes right on in, and they work diligently to build it during the off weeks, and then lighting comes in, repositions lights. Our tech team and crew really worked really hard, to make sure that we created something really magical for kids and everybody to come see. And they spent some long hours. I think there was one person who said they got like maybe 2 hours of sleep one night. So They work really hard, although I will say I didn't make them do that.
Okay, very good. Very important aspect of the theater, no doubt about that. Trevor, just a final comment from you, and again, thanks so much to Lillian as well for stopping by. It is an intimate setting, as James pointed out. So what's it like to be that close to the audience?
Oh wow, it is. It's interesting. It's a lot closer than a lot of the performances I've done in the past. My school has, we call it the Black Box Theater, which is our smallest theater, and the boat is probably about half that size in like complete size, and it's really close. And we go into the aisles sometimes too, so we're really like connected with the audience. So it's certainly an experience, and I think. I mean, the set really adds to it because the set extends into the house a little bit, so it really creates a whole world when we're all in there with you.
So when you go into the audience, you get a high five every once in a while from somebody. You gotta look out for that.
I mean, I might try and slip someone a high five, but don't expect it.
All right, very good. And finally, JK, again, people, if they want to get tickets, how can they best do that?
They could call our box office, or they can visit our online ticket sale website. If you go to clintonshowboat.com, there's a lovely button right there as you get to the page that you can click to buy tickets there and pick your seats, or you can go in person at the box office. They're open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 11 to 4, and then on Sundays from 12 to 4. Right. And we're closed on Mondays.
Again, Cinderella going to run through July 16th. Thank you all for coming in, and best of luck.
Thank you.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you about one of the River City's most professional house cleaning specialists. They offer a wide range of services, which include fire, smoke, and water damage cleanup, and of course, expert carpet cleaning. They're not satisfied with only being affordable.